If you've been broken up with by your ex and you want to get them back, you need to understand how attraction works. Everybody thinks they understand how attraction works because we have ego. If you ask any random dude off the street, he's going to tell you, he's going to have two out of touch beliefs: that he can fight and that he's good with girls. Our ego demands this of us. Now, women probably different, right? But the fact of the matter is, everybody thinks they understand how attraction works. And to some degree, they do. We all understand that we need to look good and that we need to feel good and we need to have confidence, right? And we understand that we can't be a Debbie Downer and these kind of things. We understand that we can't send a bunch of texts in a row and this kind of thing. All of this is in mainstream popular culture. Like, we understand these things as a whole, but we do not understand as a whole how attraction works in total. Only specific sections of society understand this. This is the dating coaches. This is the pickup artists. This is the people that have played the field a lot. And they may not consciously know, but they have a lot of experience, reference experience, where they kind of know it in their being. And you might be somebody like that, where you do pretty well with men or women or whatever. And from experience, you have a lot of cool experiences. But for people like that are more naturals or have just played the field a lot, you run into this problem that you can easily get everyone else, but the one person that you want, you have trouble with. And that's because you don't consciously know the principles of attraction. You just know sort of feeling it out. And the reason why this is a bad move when it comes to getting your ex back is because you can't trial and error shit. You can't just jump in and wing it, because you're going to end up making mistakes that cost you somewhere between 3 and 6 months of your ex being closed off to you. So it's a problem. The best way I can boil down attraction to you is this idea of supply and demand. It's for attention, the supply and demand of attention, okay? So if the supply of your attention goes up too much, right, you're too available, too needy, the other person has zero demand for it. And if the supply goes all the way down to zero, demand might be high for a second, but ultimately they'll get the idea that there's no reward to the risk. It's like spinning your wheels for no purpose, and they'll lose interest because the supply is completely minimal. So at the end of the day, you need to understand the economics of attraction, but not just that. You need to understand where the right level of effort lies, because if you're too available, you're going to get taken for granted. But if you're not available at all, there's nothing in it for the other person. And much of this could be calibrated off of the effort level of your ex. And that's why when you reconnect with them, you're going to gauge, how interested are they based upon their text bubble size, based upon whether or not they're asking you questions, based upon if they're playing along with your jokes. And depending on their effort level, you will get to put in a certain amount of effort back, but not too much where it throws off that sort of supply and demand situation. What's funny is that when you're first dating, you naturally do everything right. And why is that? Because you're not attached to anybody. So what you do is you play out your options, and you end up getting, a lot of times you don't even get the person you like first best because you wanted them too much and you ran them off. So what ends up happening is the person that you end up getting with you is sort of like your second or third choice maybe or something, because that was the person that you treated correctly. You gave them just enough effort where there was challenge, but you still liked them, so there was reward as well. You might say, no, my ex is my first choice, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool, but there might have been one person that you sort of chased off around the time that you started talking to your ex. Or the one guy that just couldn't commit. Maybe that's your ex now. But so all of this shit is easy to do when you don't care. But when you do care, you have to consciously know what the parameters are of how much effort is too much and how much is too little. And that's what I want to help you with. So if you want my help getting your ex back, click into my profile picture, and then there's a link in my profile. When you click that, my calendar will come up, and you can set up a call with me where you tell me your story, and I'll give you a specific plan to get your ex back.